Hi Busy Bees, welcome to a little video about some wellness techniques that I'd like to share with you. I recently got back from a long trip to the Holy Land, which was wonderful, but it reminded me how important it is to really figure out how you want to treat your body so that you can have a wonderful, relaxing, and spiritual time. As you might imagine, a trip to the Holy Land meant that there was going to be a lot of pilgrimage aspects. We were going to spend some time in prayer. It was not the time that I wanted to get sick, for sure. There was too much that I didn't want to miss out on. And I knew that with a long flight and with as much constant traveling as we were going to do, I was going to make sure to bring all of my wellness techniques, which made me think I wanted to share this with you so that wherever you go, be it on a trip or just in daily life, you too can have some practices that help support your wellness, that then help support your meditation side or spiritual side or prayer life, so that you don't get derailed just because you're traveling. So first thing I wanted to share with you is if you have a practice of physical movement, especially something like running or yoga, I highly recommend that you plan for it every day or at least every other day in your trip. I myself have a practice of yoga, so I bring with me, to make this happen, my travel yoga mat. Now, not everybody has seen one of these before, so I brought it in to show you. You can see how flexible it is. This one is by Manduku and is a very lightweight and very compact. I can even put this on a carry-on if I'm going somewhere that I need to be really packing minimalist. And in fact, I do like these sorts of things. I only pick things that I know I can have with me and store very simply. So as you can see, I just keep folding this up and it goes smaller and smaller until it's just this little rubber square, and it works like a very, very good yoga mat. So keep whatever physical practice you have going. It helps continue to regulate the body, to help you stay centered, even if you have to go to bed an hour earlier than you might have planned. Better to do that than to just kind of mess up your whole biorhythm. Especially too if you have a practice of movement that supports your prayer life. Yoga certainly does that for me. So I make sure I continue to do that, not even when I'm on the road. Speaking of prayers, if you have a dedicated meditation practice or prayer practice, don't let those things go when you're on the road. It can be very tempting. I certainly have been guilty of that. But the delightful thing is when you continue to keep your prayer practice going, or your meditation practice, or your breathing practice, whatever you might have, it helps increase your awareness of all the beauty that you're experiencing on your trip by making you more mindful and centered. And you can see God in all the moments of your journey. So don't cut out those things just because you're having a trip. Those are the things that keep you centered. So some of the wellness tips. Take your vitamins with you, obviously. So your daily vitamins. But here are some ways to maybe up your wellness game. This little bag my mom gave me. What's really nice about it is that it can expand. And there's a lot of little pockets. There we go. For these kind of like lotions and potions and things that I find really helpful. The first thing is called Safe Travels by Himalayan Institute. It recommended to me by my Ayurvedic doctor. Ayurveda is the sister science of yoga. Safe Travels is a bitter herbal supplement. It's a bitters, and it is very good for digestion. And I find that it helps just to kind of keep everything feeling centered and good. So Safe Travels. And elderberry tincture. I'm a big believer in elderberry, especially the juice or the extract. This has helped me healthy through the entire flu season. I really take double of this when I am traveling. You can just get this on Etsy or most grocery stores have something like this. Just a little bit goes a long way to keeping you healthy. So my elderberry tincture there. Really like that. Some of the ways that I help with immunity as well is with one of these little immunity rollers. I like this as a way to, as I'm traveling, kind of put something there. And it's just a little boost during the day. I find especially when you're on an airplane, you could use all the little boosts you can get. I also find that traveling, when I'm staying in hotel rooms, the recycled air of like an air conditioning unit, those can often give me sinus infections. So these are ways that I help to try and combat that. So speaking of more antibacterial stuff, thieves oil. Thieves, legend has it that there were the reason it's called thieves is there was a group of thieves that were going around to houses of people who had died from the plague and during that time frame, and robbing the houses, but being able to walk away without getting infection. And when they were questioned why, they were told it was because they were using thieves oil. I'm sure they didn't call it that then. This is a combination of clove, lemon, cinnamon, eucalyptus, rosemary, and a few other things. I put this on the bottom of my feet every night when I'm traveling. Put a pair of socks on, and it absorbs. I also do this when I have a cold at home. You might also bring a little squirt bottle of this stuff to disinfect doorknobs, remote controls, things like that. It's really very powerful. This is my grapefruit oil. I prefer lemon oil for a couple of reasons. One, I drink hot water with lemon in it every morning as a hydration boost as well as a detoxifier, and I find it very good for digestion. I do that instead of some caffeine in the morning. I find it a very good pick-me-up. But I didn't have that before I left for my trip. I only had some grapefruit oil. I was out of lemon oil. So, Mom, if you're watching, if you want to buy me some more lemon oil, that'd be great. But the grapefruit oil, while it's delicious, it is actually so detoxifying that if you are regularly taking a prescription or something, they caution you from using it because it can help medicine pass through your system before you can actually absorb it. So if you are looking for a detoxifier, grapefruit oil is a way to go, but it's a pretty serious detoxifier, I find. Okay. Peppermint and lavender. Love these two. Peppermint and lavender have very soothing properties to them. If you have a sore muscle, peppermint's a really nice thing to rub into it. And I find if I have a headache, I put a little lavender and peppermint right here on my temples and on the base of my neck, and it really soothes it. It's powerful, better than I find Tylenol. I also like to put a little bit of peppermint or lavender on the bottom of my shower to kind of create a wonderful aromatherapy kind of thing, or a little bit of these in my hair if I'm looking for a quick pick-me-up. They really are quite lovely. Lavender helps you sleep. And finally, this is, let's see if I can bend this back. It's called Soulful Essence Meditation Station. This is mostly a frankincense. It's juniper and frankincense. These are supposed to have properties to help meditation and prayer. I find frankincense, though, has incredible properties for many other things. It helps with skin. It helps with anti-inflammatory properties. So if you have that headache, again, a little on your forehead, I really like this for mindfulness practices. And so I also bring a little Melaleuca tea tree oil to help with skin as well. So you can kind of put all three of these together for your headache. That was lavender, peppermint, and the frankincense. Okay, I know that looks like a lot, but as I showed you, it all fits into this one little bag. And I did not get sick on my trip to Israel, which I almost certainly would have. I often get some sort of upper respiratory problem when I travel, but I really attribute it to these wellness practices, all of which helped me to have a much more spiritually centered time, and I am incredibly grateful for that trip, and I hope some of these wellness practices help you on your pilgrimages, wherever they may be, even if they're just to downtown. All right, many blessings. Thanks so much, Busy Bees.